Welcome back to Comic Book ASMR. Today we're going to be looking through Joe Jusko's Art of Marvel Masterpieces 1992, recently fulfilled Kickstarter, as well as showing off a few of the bonus items, but we're just going to get started. So yeah, if you're familiar with comics and collecting cards, Marvel Masterpieces is probably a card series you are familiar with or have heard of. And so the 1992 series was all done by Joe Jusko. Now, when I was a kid, I had a really cool Captain America poster that hung above my bed for years and years. I think it was from 1990 maybe. And it was a Joe Jusko painting. Now, at the time, I had no clue that's who it was who had done it, but I was just blown away by how realistic it looked, and just blown away by how cool it was. So that artist was commissioned to do an entire card series, and that's what this book is about. So initially, it just kind of goes through a bit of like Marvel merch fandom. And apparently, too, he had worked on the background designs for the Universe Series 3 cards. 1 and 2 were kind of iconic in their own right, and the Series 3 one, they had like all of the like universe background stuff, and then they had the characters superimposed over the top of it. A lot of them like Mark Bagley illustrations and stuff like that. So. But this book spotlights Joe's work, and so they've pulled pretty much anything and everything they can to tug at your nostalgic heartstrings. So we see a shrink-wrapped box here, unopened, still with the seal on it, and then a few of the card packs there. And we get an ad here with this very cool image of Spider-Man. Another ad there too. And they're talking about there was a period when they later on blew up the work that was on the cards and turned it into a series of like comic printed formatted issues, which they're all just like splash page format. I think they're all just like 24 pages a piece or something like that. And then we have the cool Captain America tin that just had the complete set in it. Here's another box here. This is the 93 one. So this is the year later, which is the set that I have. I was not aware that I actually didn't have the deck that's spotlighted in this book initially. So I was like, oh man. But this, the 92 series, I just kind of set the standard. And it's, I think, probably the most sought after of the Marvel Masterpieces cards. So tends to typically go for more online, to my understanding. And yeah, so this is a reprint here. I don't know which magazine this was in, but this kind of goes through Joe's process here. It talks about different most wanted cards, all sorts of just like behind the scenes stuff circulating around this art, this artist, and everything else. So lots of cool little chunks, and then it just goes from there. You get to see the sketch, and then you get to see the completed card with little sound bites here. And so this was 92, so some of these characters at the time may have been newer ones that you'd seen and would recognize in the comics. But now a lot of these guys have just kind of fallen off. Like, I don't know who Blaze is. And then we see more iconic things here. So we see Joe saying he wasn't crazy about this version of the Black Whale costume, but that's the one that he was asked to draw at that time. Black Cat there, Bishop. And he usually sticks pretty close to his rough work. We see a few differences there with the structure behind, and the foot's pointed down instead of up, making for better motion and drama. I was trying to think of the word there. Apocalypse, Adam Warlock, Darkhawk, a 90s character who's kind of like resurfaced recently. I thought he had some wings though too. I'm surprised the wings aren't in this shot here. Some nice snowy Daredevil one here. So he wanted to do the snow better, but he didn't have much time to render it, so that's why it looks just kind of smooth and basic there. He wanted to have the contrast between the red and the white. We see Cyclops blasting into space there. Colossus. Captain Britain. My favorite Captain America here. And we see, he said he threw everything he could think of for America in this picture. We got the bird, the flag, the captain. Really nice shot there. Cage, Cable, Bullseye. I love how he went with this, with like the target being killed in the background as opposed to this one. See Dazzler here, Enchantress, Electra, Electro, Doctor Strange, Dr. Octopus. So he said he lifted the atomic energy center straight from a Ditko panel from Spider-Man #3. Classic Doom here. Looks like he's piloting some sort of ship. Dormammu. He's saying with a lot of these closer ones, it was really just like a time-saving thing that he did. Because bear in mind, this was like an 80 card set or something to that extent, so when you're commissioned to do a bunch of paintings, you've got to use your time wisely for sure. Human Torch. He's displaying a level of power here that I don't think I've ever seen him do in the, or maybe it's just kind of a foreshortened thing, because I mean that almost looks like, you know, a small planet that Johnny is forming there. We see a very monstrous hobgoblin. Hawkeye. Havoc. Green Goblin. I didn't even know this image was from a card. I have it on one of a more newer book that I had picked up. But I guess that was just something they re-dipped back into from Joe's previous artwork. See the Invisible Woman here. Almost looks like she's got a Pamela Anderson characteristics in her face there. The hair is too short, but as far as like the facial features, certainly reminds me of her. The Lizard. The Leader, looks like he switched up the head design there. I was asked to paint this one, which I always thought looked like an inverted infected scrotum. That's nice. But I mean, he's not wrong. Kingpin. Kang. Juggernaut. Jean Grey. Mandarin. Major Victory. This is another one I don't know if I even know this particular character. Magneto here. What is this, a doorknob? He's utilizing, yeah, the dumbest thing I did in this series was that Magneto get pissed off at a Home Depot. That's really funny. I was like, these are some really strange things to have him, hurl at you. That's pretty funny. Reminds me of some of the toys at that time that would have just like space debris packed in with Magneto for weapons. Here's a Moment, Mojo. I guess these are all alphabetical too, huh? Mephisto, Megan. I don't know who that character is. Looks like she's from Excalibur. Namorita, I've seen her, but don't know much about her either. Based on a pinup of Marilyn Monroe, apparently. Namor. Mr. Sinister. Isn't he? I could have sworn his name, like he's Dr. Essex. Why doesn't he go by Dr. Sinister? I just now thought about that. This is interesting. This card seems to have more of a pen and ink quality, like a comic interior illustration than an actual painting to me. Maybe it's just all the black line weight on there. There's a Morbius. Nightmare. Look at this eyeball with the mouth on it. Very cool Nightcrawler there. Night Thrasher. Definitely one of the older random 80s, 90s characters. Psylocke. Yeah, Professor X taking some notes apparently. You got Phoenix, and this is like the later Phoenix with the spikes and stuff. Nova. He said this piece looks Christmassy to him. North Star. Nomad. Oh, look at this little kid in the Bucky outfit. That's kind of funny. Quicksilver. Looks like a can of Surge almost. Quasar. Punisher. Shatterstar. Shadowcat or Kitty Pryde or whatever you want to call her depending on what day of the month it was. Sauron. Sandman. Sabretooth. Rogue. Red Skull. His little evil villain castle behind him here. Silver Sable. Sexy, elegant, and affluent. Got some champagne up there. She-Hulk. Sitting on some sort of robot. She's scrapped there. I don't think that's quite a Sentinel. You got Thanos around all the planets there. Super Skrull. Strong Guy. Storm. One of my favorite cards in this set for sure, this Spider-Man. They made statues and stuff out of this. So cool. Speedball. Sleepwalker. Silver Surfer. A super close-up thing. the Rainbow Bridge here, the Bifrost, Wonder Man with his Oscar, a very feral Wolverine. He said this could be the most insanely feral Wolverine ever, maybe not, but he sure needed a good hair conditioner. Yeah, he definitely looks pretty unhinged there. White Queen, Weapon Omega, Venom. Tongue was a thing in 1992. He's not sure. Yeah, so later, we had the whole crazy Venom's tongue thing. He wasn't sure if that was a thing yet when he did that painting. If I remember, maybe that was actually Eric Larson who kind of started doing that with him. Tombstone. I like the nice little skull eyeball there. Oh, so then we've got, so the 99 base cards and then a few additional ones. So we have card 1D is Thing versus Hulk. Silver Surfer versus Thanos. Wolverine versus Sabretooth. Spider-Man versus Venom. Well, there's the tongue thing there. I guess he just didn't feel like doing it on that other one. Cap versus Red Skull. And we have Scarlet Witch, Feral, Deathbird, Typhoid Mary, and we have Jubilee. So that is the book itself. Now, months prior to its shipping, there was a long period of production. So to hold everyone over, Joe shipped out, everyone was guaranteed one of these. So this is a metal recreation of the Hulk card from that series. From the 92 series, and the back is the same too, so it's not just the front image, but it's the full card. And then there was a blind bag in there, which people had a chance to get. I think there were 10 different cards you could get, so this is like, the minted metal. This is a bronze one here, but they had a gold, they had silver, and they had bronze. Of different ones. They had a Spider-Man one, this one, I think they had Psylocke, a few others too, I believe. But yeah, this is a full-on pressed, very heavy chunk here. So this was kind of a way to, once again, this was a Kickstarter project that really took off. It did very well, and he just kind of felt like he owed it to the supporters since we'd been waiting for so long. And he was just kind of able to tide us over a little bit before the book shipped over. And then an odd other thing you could get, I don't think this was I think I paid extra for this, but it's like a smaller version of that book, but he went back and he repainted all of the 92 cards, but just like where the characters were the focus. So the background isn't on any of them, but it's all just spotlighted on the characters. So it's the full, all of them just like before, only they are recently recreated. Let me see which year here. So yeah, he did these in 22, 23. He went back and he recreated the card set. But he just did the character images, and they're pretty well the same for the most of them. Some of them are a little bit tweaked more, as you saw that Mr. Fantastic, for instance. That one did not seem as heavy. I don't know, maybe it is. It looks more painted here to me than the other one. I don't know. But regardless, so yeah, he went back and he painted all the cards again, just the characters themselves. So kind of cool, a little unique. But yeah, so that's it. Well, that's gonna do it for today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. And as always, you all have a super slumber. Thanks. Bye.